Welcome to our first discussion of our H1 results. I would like to welcome everybody who's joined, and I would like to ask if we could just wait for a couple of minutes before we kick off the presentation, just to make sure to give time for other people to join. I believe one person is joined so far. So we'll just wait for a couple of minutes and we'll kick off the presentation. Yeah. Welcome everyone to DIDIC's H1 2022 results discussion. At the outset, I would like to express our gratitude to the MSX for arranging for these discussions. We have no doubt that they will continue to provide added support to the market as the market develops locally. We will run through this brief presentation. It will probably take about 20 minutes, following which we will take any questions that any of the participants may have. So, welcome on board. We will start off by just providing those who have just joined us with a brief overview of our company. As most of you must know, DIDIC is a Omani investment holding company listed on the MSX. It was established back in 1987, and it currently stands as one of the largest investment companies in the Sultanate of Oman, with an investment book of about 208 million riyal. The company is invested in a variety of sectors, most notable of which are obviously the banking sector and financial services, insurance. We also have exposure to manufacturing, utilities, hospitality, medical manufacturing, and a number of other industries. Our major investments that will be clarified in later slides is Bank Dhofar, where we are a promoter and the largest shareholder in the bank. The bank is currently the second largest bank in the Sultanate of Oman. We are also a promoter and the largest shareholder in Dhofar Insurance, the second largest insurance company in Oman. And we are also the largest shareholder in OIFC, the leading payment services company in the Sultanate, with activities focused on billing, collection, and debt collection as well. Our major shareholder groups include some very prominent business groups in the country, including the Muscat Overseas Group, Pinport Investments, Militant Trading, in addition to a number of government pension funds, such as the Civil Services and Police Pension Fund, the Royal Oman Police Pension Fund, among others. Some of these notable shareholders are actually promoters of the company who have been with us from the start. Just a quick view of our board, committees, and management. Our board is composed of 7 members, chaired by Sheikh Khalid al-Mashani. Our deputy chairman is Mr. Tariq al-Ajeli. Our other 5 notable participants in the investment and other fields in Oman. They serve on a number of boards as executives and as directors. Our board has 2 committees, an audit committee and an EMIC, an executive nomination and remuneration committee. The key management personnel are myself, Ramzi Al-Amoudi, I'm the CEO, Mr. Vishal Makwana, who's with us on the call, the CFO, Mr. Jamal Rashid, the company secretary and compliance officer. Just a very quick overview of our investment philosophy and the process that we follow. The company generally invests in equity instruments issued by new and existing Omani companies. Our focus has always been to contribute to the development of Oman as a country through these investments. Continuing with our investment portfolio, our investment portfolio is composed of 4 different categories. We have 3 subsidiaries, Dhofar International Investment and Real Estate Services Company, Garden Hotel, and Dhofar International Energy Services Company. Our total value of those companies in our books stand at 10.27 million riyals. We also have 6 associates. The main ones obviously is Bank Dhofar, Dhofar Insurance, Financial Services, OIFC, 2 unlisted ones, Salala Medical and Omani Vegetable Oils. The overall total value for these associates in our books, they're carried at 160.4 million riyal. We also hold a portfolio of about 30 million riyal in marketable equities. That portfolio includes Bank Muscat, Salala Port Services, Oman Tel, Ooredoo, and others, all mostly listed on the MSX. We also have a small fixed income on fixed deposit position right now. It stands at 6.78. The majority of that is a loan outstanding to one of our subsidiaries with a fixed deposit of 1.8 million held with a local institution. The key investments, just a highlight on the key investments. So Bank Dhofar, which is the largest investment in our books, we own 24% of the bank. We carry that bank at 133 million. Of course, we adopt equity accounting for our associates, and so their carrying value is mirrors their book values in their reported financials. We own 37.4% of Dhofar Insurance. Once again, we're the largest shareholder in that. That is carried at the value of 12 million riyal. We are also the largest shareholder in OIFC, owning 38% of that company. The carrying value of that in our books stands at 10 million as of June. With respect to the subsidiaries, Garden Hotel is a fully owned subsidiary. It used to be Hewlett Inn in the square, currently rebranded as Garden Hotel. It's 153 key hotel. Dhofar International Energy Services Company, that is the subsidiary that we use to invest in utilities. Under that, we have 3 investments in power generating companies, 1 investment in a desalination company, one of which, Dhofar Generating, is a listed company. Dhofar Investment and Real Estate Services Company was a company that held a single investment. We had exited that investment earlier in the year, and the company currently does not hold any assets. So this is a very brief summary of our financials, both P&L and balance sheet for the first half of 2022 in comparison to the first half of 2021. We will run through certain movements in these figures in the next slide. A few things to highlight on this slide is a slight drop in dividends, mostly as a result of a reduction in dividend received from Bank Dhofar in 2022 as opposed to 2021. The realized gain on, the majority of the third line item is actually unrealized gains. mostly as a result of increases in the values of our investments in Bank Muscat and Oman. Our expenses are generally in line with what they were last year, with a slight drop as a result of reduction in consultancy fees paid last year to perform the rights issue that was used to pay back the subordinated bond. Finance costs have dropped as a result of the settlement of the bond and a slight reduction in interest rate on the renegotiation of our senior loans. Share of profits from associates have improved. We've seen improvements across the board in our associates, as you will see in subsequent slides. Income tax provision is as a result of the capital gains tax that would accrue from the exit that happened in Abtal in the investment held by Dires. That is the provision for that capital gain. No, we're going to discuss the details in the next slide. So if we can just talk about some trends within our P&L. As you see, the total income has dropped. As I said, the majority of the drop in total income comes from the reduction in dividends received. We've seen a 15% increase in the share of profits from our associates. We provide the breakdown to the right. As you see, the majority of the companies have experienced an increase in their profitability in 2022 as compared to 2021. The one exception is Bank Dubai, where the operating performance has improved significantly, but additional provisioning has resulted in lower reporting net profits. Total expenses are in line with what we had budgeted and what we had experienced last year. A significant drop in finance costs as a result of the settlement of the bond. That bond was 25 million face value, costing 9%. So our half year would have been a 1.2 million interest that was booked in the first half of last year, that is no longer there this year. In addition to a reduction in the interest rate on our senior debt, so that has resulted in the savings in the finance cost as reflected the 35% drop. With respect to the balance sheet, we see that there is a 3% improvement in our investment in associate and equities. Once again, that is a result of the improving profitability and as such increasing book values of our associates, in addition to the improvement in market prices in some key investments such as Bank Muscat and Gormata. We see a significant increase in equity of 33%. The majority of that increase is as a result of the conversion of that 25 million bond into capital that happened in the third quarter of last year, and as such was not reflected in H1 of 2021. Total debt has decreased. That decrease, once again, is as a result of that conversion of the bond. A significant decline in other liabilities, that is caused, or the rationale for that, is up to the first half of last year, we were accruing interest both on the bond and to senior lenders. Through the renegotiation and restructuring of our debt to senior lenders, that interest was later paid, and so no longer appears within our liabilities this year. A few points on the performance of our associates. We'll start with Bank Dubai, our most important associate. As we can see, the net financing income has increased significantly by 18%. So that is a clear reflection of improving operating performance. However, the profits were down as a result of the increase in provisions from 9.7 to 16.3. The management team in Bank Dubai continues to take a very deep look at their loan portfolio. They're de-risking the balance sheet, and as such are booking higher provisions than they were used to in the past. That will simply improve the performance in the future. And so that is the result, that is the cause of the decline in net profit after tax from 17.1 to 16.4. We don't see much growth in loans advances. Those are effectively flat, we're down by 2%. We see a similar trend with the deposits, going down by 6% as well. The decline in the deposits is part of the reason of the improvement in the net interest and net operating profit. And all of that results in a very minor improvement in shareholders' equity. With respect to Dhofar Insurance, we see improvements across the board. Their gross premiums written have increased by 30% in the first half of the year. Operating profit has also shown a significant increase of 12%, resulting in an increase in net profit after tax of 18%. We also see an improved participation of reinsurance. So as you can see, the reinsurance share of insurance funds is increasing at 32%. That signifies the effective or the well-controlled transfer of risk to the insurers from Dhofar Insurance. That has resulted in the improved profitability, has resulted in an improvement in shareholders' equity by 40%. One thing we noted in Dhofar Insurance is the overall increase in the loss ratios. However, that is obviously to be expected. It's something mirrored in other insurance companies in the market as a result of the resumption of economic activity, the fact that people are driving more. And so loss ratios do tend to go up in those environments. But all in all, the performance has been extremely well and as expected. When talking about OIFC, OIFC is obviously the revenue from operations relates to their operating arm. As you know, OIFC has effectively two halves: one, operations, which focuses on billing, debt collection, etc., and the other half is their investment portfolio, which is mostly composed of the associate Bank Sahar. The good news is, while we did see a drop in the revenue from operations by 7%, that actually has not impacted the EBITDA. As a matter of fact, the EBITDA went up by 12% as a result of the better cost management and reversal of provisions that are no longer required. The significant improvement of the performance of the associate has resulted in the profits after tax going up by 52%. That also reflects in the increase in the value of the investment in associate by 13%. Borrowings have gone up. OIFC had borrowed money last year to participate in the rights issue in Bank Sahar, and that was funded by debt, and that was the reason for the increase in borrowings. Shareholders' equity has shown a decline. However, we would like to highlight that the reason for that is the treatment of the Tier 1 perpetual bonds issued by Bank Sahar, which are treated through OCI. And so despite the increase in profitability, you do have a negative impact on equity as a result of the treatment of the interest cost accrued to that instrument. One issue that we monitor very closely at DIDIC is our debt situation and our relationship with our lenders. As of the H1, our senior debt stood at 91.79 million. That is the only debt taken at the parent company level. The annual interest rate on that has gone down to 6%. The repayment schedule is shown in chart form. The debt is governed by a number of covenants. So the required debt to equity is a minimum of 1:1, a maximum of 1:1. I'm sorry. We are overperforming in relation to that covenant. We also look at debt servicing covering ratio that needs to exceed 1.1, and we stand at 1.5. The one covenant where we fall short is on the security cover ratio, where the mandated ratio is 200%, where as of the first half we stood at 174. Obviously, that security cover is governed by the movement in the public market prices of our investments, not their carrying values, and as such, it is a relatively volatile metric that changes daily. In conclusion, I think what we can say is all of our investments are showing significant signs of improvement. This applies to the portfolio and our associates as well. The general upward movement in the MSX that we hope to continue is contributing to gains in our trading portfolio, improving our security cover while at the same time. Following our renegotiations with lenders during 2021, we have agreed to a long-term repayment schedule as shown on the previous slide, a lower interest rate, and all of those factors in unison have made our ability to service our debt very high. It's very manageable for us at this time, at the current period. Moving forward, the company continues to evaluate a number of initiatives. Some initiatives are geared towards continuously leveraging. We will do the one, two. Our aim is to reduce the overall debt that the company carries. Deleveraging obviously will be accomplished through a planned asset sale. We do have an asset sale plan that we continuously review and are continuously work on. And we hope, obviously, we will make the announcements of any significant asset sales when they are done. We also continue to look at opportunities to grow, add shareholder value, both inorganically at the parent level, even at the associate and subsidiary level, where a number of initiatives are being studied. Some are expanding our footprint in existing industries, whereas in others we are looking at branching out into new directions. They are all at the nascent stage, and we will certainly report those to the market at large to shareholders.
أبو بدر الصوت مرة ثانية واطي جدا ما نسمعه.
الحين أستاذ طارق. الآن أستاذ طارق. طارق.
أسمعك الصوت كان جيد وبعدين تدريجيا صار ينخفض تدريجيا.
والحين
أفضل نعم شكرا.
نعم.
شكرا أستاذ طارق. Anyways, I would like to finally thank everyone for participating with us in this presentation. I would like to once again express our gratitude for the MSX for this extremely beneficial initiative. We hope to continuously report to our shareholders and the investment community at large of any future developments in DIVIC. And we are ready to answer any questions that any participants might have. It doesn't seem that anybody has any questions. If that's the case, I will just wait for another couple of minutes before concluding this presentation. Once again, thank you everyone for participating. To any shareholder, we remain at your disposal for any questions, any follow-up explanation that we require. Thank you very much. Final chance, any questions, any inquiries, any comments? Thank you very much. I think with that, we will conclude our presentation for today. This presentation will be uploaded to our YouTube channel and our website. We stand ready to answer any questions from any shareholders down the line. Please reach out to us directly, and we will make sure that we get the responses that we see. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
جزاكم الله خير يعطيكم ألف عافية. شكرا.